Hi, I'm Raya. I'm a professional artist, and this is my professional desk. I was planning a new video series, not this, and I realized I couldn't do it unless I humbled myself a little first. It's drawing and critique related, and I've never seen anyone else do it before, so I'm really excited to start that. But first, we gotta do this. The concept for today is very simple. I've been drawing for the last 20 years, and we're gonna go through my old artwork, we're gonna pick something rancid, and then we're going to redraw it. So let's pick a good one out.
Prepare for despair. And as in despair, I mean cringy decade-old art.
I've got like weird femme falco. Have I ever played Star Fox? No. I've got like a man turning into a bird and a woman in an ugly dress. It's just a cringe. It'll pass. I'll be fine. The background of this one is really creepy. What the heck is that? Okay, I think I found the perfect one to do. And it's this one. I'm gonna pick this one because it's a full body figure with some interesting OC choices. I actually love early OCs. There's something so shameless about them and how crazy they can get. I think they can be really interesting to look at, and there is just something very sincere and charming about them. Along with my friends, we have spent time scouring the internet in the past to look at other people's dated OCs. It's just one of those things you do. And you know what? I have respect for the ebony darkness, dementia ravenways that I find. We have the white hair, which was my favorite. Thank you, Bakura. All my main OCs around this time had white hair. I wish I had white hair, but I'll wait. I was likely 13 to 14 at the time I drew this character, and very new to drawing digital media. There's so much going on here, like the wings and the clashing clown colors, which must be Clopin inspired. Clopin? The Zelda-looking eye lantern I cannot explain. And a tail too? That's too much. I was also clearly background poor at this time, if you couldn't tell by the tool I used for the snowstorm. The cringing passed. We're good. I swear to all heavens, I never shaded with black, but looking at this piece, I very clearly did. It's supposed to be nighttime, obviously, and past Raya just went for it. Clearly, this is gonna be good. So the rules for this redraw are very simple. The composition of the image has to be unmistakably the same composition. All right, let's begin. Setting up the document will match the original dimensions, and I'll import a ghost of the original art, so flicking back and forth at the end will be real fun. Perfect. Let's do the sketch. Jaw, big ol' eyes. Oh, you may notice in the original piece, there's a tiny line between her eyes and above her nostrils. That was my early way of drawing notch noses, like mine. My nose is the most unique part of my appearance, and I really love them. I think they make people's faces very, angular, which I like. When I was younger, I didn't know how to draw different noses because no one else drew them. When I drew myself, which I did a lot back then, I had to figure out a way to be accurate. So this little line is my first exploration into that. At least 90% of my characters have weird, crooked, notched noses. We'll give her a nice old bump for sure, because that's what she deserves. I'm reminding myself to not dilly-dally. This is a speed draw. We gotta go! We'll tweak the face's position a little bit. She's a teenager's OC. Of course she has pointy ears. Oh yeah, she has a neck tattoo, which is just like a fading line, but I actually remember the plot relevance of it. Yes, this OC at some point belonged to a plot. Time for that billowing, feathery hair. Thank you, Bakura. Got that wind direction. Some hairs will be in the way. I don't want to cover her neck tattoo though. Rough goggles, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and clothes. Can't forget that thin feathered tail. And finally, the lantern. I don't like the lantern design here, but we'll tackle it later. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. The lines in the original are light, so I won't do black. I like using colored lines in general. Usually I draw with a cracked pen with these little imperfections, but for this we'll be boring and use a regular ink pen. Inking is the best. It's the best part. Look at that face come together. Woohoo! I thought it would be fun to give her colored eyelashes. That's what you get for being an albino. Let's add a little extra eyelash here. One pupil and... oh. Okay, that eye is not the right size, but I'm doing this fast. I'll fix it in a bit, I promise. So what's the deal with this OC? Well, I can't remember exactly, but I do remember she's a type of celestial. Love angels in media, by the way. All the characters in her world had these thin, lined neck tattoos, and the darker the ink, the closer one would be to their death. So you could gauge how soon you would die depending on the tattoo you are born with. This character, she wasn't a main character. I would say she was secondary or supporting. Her whole deal was helping the main human character of the series, whose name was Leo. Yeah, the main character's name was Leo, and Leo's neck tattoo turned completely black, but they didn't die. The series centered around a lot of political abuse in the human world, as well as corruption in the Celestial Run afterlife, that eventually led to people like Leo to stop dying. I don't remember it too well outside of that. I remember there was a bell tower and a fire and this lantern, but I don't remember how they fit into the story. I also can't remember her name. It was probably something like Weathers, Weatherby, or Maybird. So there's some context for you. Add more detail to the goggles. Oh, not to be sidetracked, but I love goggles, by the way. As a teen, I wore goggles every day, because I was a really cool kid. For hands, because they're so important, I usually do a separate sketch layer. This is so I have a clear guide for what I want to do with them. Both of her hands are executing an action, so they're going to be really easy. Her clothes are so odd. The military vest, and she's definitely suffering hypothermia. I remember the series she belongs to being pre-contemporary fiction, so I don't know why she's dressed like this. Maybe the Celestials dressed more modern in their realm, maybe? I wouldn't call this modern, but yeah, it's wacky. I'm worried the length of the shirt will make her torso look really long, like longer than it actually is, and make her legs look shorter. But she is a kid, so maybe the proportions will lean into that. We'll see how it looks. Want boots? Boop. I forgot the laces though. Wings, tail, new lantern design. Oh, watch him dance. Doop-a-doo-doo-boo. Oh, she's really cute. Our little dude. I pulled the original color scheme and no, we're not doing that. For now, I'll just tweak the original just so it's not so bright. Let's add not black shadows being cast from the lantern in her left hand. Put some highlights in and the lantern's light. Before we further mess with it, let's add our storm. Snow in the back, snow in the front. The original has these visible wind spirals and I like them, so we're adding them in. I think they'll add a messy storm that she's supposed to find you in. Here, and here, and yeah. It is a storm. It's supposed to be a little wild. And I think the color scheme is still a bit too wacky. It's too many colors. The red, green, blue, yellow, brown, white, purple. Yeah, it's too wacky, so let's simplify it. Boop. I kind of missed the purple, but I'm not going to keep messing with it. We are on a schedule. All right, I think we're done. Here's the original. What else is there to say about this? There is a deep nostalgic factor when I gaze upon it. It's charming and from a time where I only drew for fun. There's something incredibly sincere about it. I like it, even with those biffed shadows. And here is the redraw. There's so much to look at with the OC weirdness and the storm and the lantern lighting. That lantern glow up, by the way. Do you feel like you're in an insane storm looking at this image? Do you feel saved? Would you let her save you? She's cute. She's so cute. Thank you for joining me today on our little redraw. It was actually a lot of fun. Even with the screen recording and I'm timing myself to do a quick recording session, I was a little nervous and stressed, but it was fun. I'm fine. I didn't cringe too much. It was actually pretty okay. Thanks again. Goodbye, Poyo. That's how you know the video is over.